Welcome to Cinema Discussions. Tonight we are discussing Independence Day Resurgence, the anticipated sequel to the 1996
questionably
film,
anticipated
Independence Day film. When everyone was saying, "Oh yeah, that was still a movie." I am joined with Vaughan and Chris.
Hey,
my name is John,
senior extraterrestrial correspondent.
Yes.
yeah.
Chris, how we've already known that you're not big into these blockbuster movies. Before we get into our spoilers onto this, we're going to give you our recommendation for this. So
The short version.
Yeah. So would you recommend this movie, Vaughn? Well, how would you recommend it?
Yeah, having slept on it since we did see it about 24 hours ago.
Couple of Thursday night showing.
Yeah, I have to questionably recommend this.
Okay. I think I don't know who out there loved the first movie, but I mean, I thought it was really fun. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah. If you enjoyed the first movie, I think you're gonna enjoy this one. It's at least revisiting this world, and it's not. It's improved. I think the at least the quality of filmmaking has improved. From the first one, and of course the graphics and stuff, but it's a different story on it somewhat. So I recommend it if you liked the first one. If you hated the first one, there's really no reason for you to watch this one.
No reason at all.
And if you're not into big budget alien movies, then you're not going to be into this because that's what it is.
Yeah.
So Chris, no, you're not recommending it.
He's like, nope.
Well, if you don't know what the Criterion Collection is, then I recommend it. But I mean, if you do, then
look, people can enjoy art films and also enjoy big budget films.
No, they can't.
They can.
That's like the film wall.
I own multiple films on the Criterion Collection that are sitting right next to Crystal Skull on my wall.
Yeah, snob alert.
Crystal Skull was a gift though, but still.
I know what a Citizen Kane is.
Hey, look, it's the Kane from Citizen Kane.
It's like, what's a rosebud?
All right, so yeah,
it's a sled.
I would recommend this. If you're just into art films, you're not going to see this movie anyway. So wait for our discussion on the latest Nicholas Winding Refn film.
Yeah,
but until then,
Drive 2.
Drive
Harder.
Wait, it was actually called Drive Angry 3D.
Yeah,
that was the sequel. All right, so now we're going to actually dive into this film and do a full discussion of this and tear this film apart and really get down into it.
This is your spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. All right.
Turn off now.
Yeah, do not watch.
So this film picks up 20 years after the original movie.
20 years to the day.
Yeah, exactly much.
Of course.
Which is actually less time than this has passed. So if you see this opening weekend, it takes place in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my God.
But otherwise, after this week, it will have taken place present day in an alternate reality. And it's like a timeline that is it's an offshoot from the last movie. So the first movie, Independence Day, essentially talks about what if aliens actually came to Earth and made themselves known. Because they established in the first film... Now, have you seen the first movie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Both of us rewatched it right before watching this one, because it had been a while since I first saw it.
Yeah, so when it came out in '96, I happened to be 12 years old that year. Like a highly formative time for my interest in science fiction movies.
Perfect time for alien movies.
Yeah, I remember exactly where we were when we saw
also
it.
Also a good year for alien movies.
If I was actually at my age and in the movie, I probably would have survived because I lived in Chico at the time. So
yeah,
and there's shit nothing out there.
Yeah,
if you're away from landmarks in big cities, you're safe.
Yeah,
pretty safe.
So
I'd survive again because I'm in like Corona.
Yeah. As Jeff Goldblum says in the movie, they like to get the landmarks.
Yeah.
What's going on that? So the movie it's offshoot from that. So the first one shows what it would come. They said that the Roswell crash actually did happen in the first movie. So then they weren't making themselves known. They were kind of like testing the waters. And now this is them actually being known. So what we get in Resurgence is what would happen if that actually took place? How would our technology advance in those years? That was what I was most interested in seeing.
I like that idea.
Yeah. And it's something that you get in great indie sci-fi movies, but this is, you get to see it done on a big budget scale. And that's to me what I like about these big budget films is when you can get good ideas into them like that, you can see it how it would be done on that scale that you don't get with the art house films. So while you're not getting the intricate plot line that you want out of one of those films, it's still fun to see in a popcorn kind of way and that kind of thing. So I like seeing how we would have progressed, especially like think of how much NASA would progress.
Yeah,
because right now with them cutting funding to NASA and shuttle travels, if they had a military application for it, if we were at war in space, our space exploration would be huge.
I'm just wondering, because it's an alternate universe, they say that everyone's now working together for peace.
Yes.
Does this mean 9/11 didn't happen?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would imagine it didn't happen, or if it did happen, it would have been crushed so easily.
From between 1996 and 2001, they would have probably had at least rudimentary shield technology.
Yes. Also, I think the Twin Towers would have already been destroyed in the first movie.
True, they did kind of wipe out New York.
They wiped out New York.
So they really wiped out the Empire State Building, though. How do they know what a landmark is? Because
it's just big.
They just picked a
lot of people around it. They see lots of people around the thing, and it's a big ornamental thing. Also, they could have been studying us for quite a long time.
Like, so they're in disguise as us. I'm just picturing an alien with a wig and just.
Well, because the Roswell ship had 3 aliens in it. That makes it a scout ship.
Yeah, and that's the only one. That's the one that crashed.
A scout ship in 47.
That's not the one that abducted Drunky McDrunkerson from the first movie and anally probed him.
Yeah, Quaid.
Yeah, so that one, not that Quaid. So that one is showing that they've come multiple times. They've been doing their research on this, so that's how they know where to attack it. So
like when they blew up L.A., they just kind of picked the tallest building there.
Yeah, that's it.
Like whatever.
So, but it's a world where I keep saying it too. Like if we ever find extraterrestrial life, it's going to do so much great for us.
Unless they kill us.
Yes, exactly. We would all be destroyed if they wanted to pick a war with us, because if they have the technology to get to us first, they're going to outgun us. There's no way we can have a miracle heyday saving at the end.
Unless we upload a virus.
Yeah, Windows 95 virus.
Well, actually, a friend of mine just corrected me on it.
Oh.
It was an Apple PowerBook.
Yes. Okay.
So it being a Unix-based virus makes it even less likely that this virus would have any effect on them whatsoever.
Unix is the operating system of choice for intergalactic travel.
Yeah, imagine that.
Steve Jobs was
an alien. Does that make Steve Jobs an alien?
Exactly. It was his the alien technology that he brought down.
Yeah.
But it would, if we weren't wiped out, if it was a peaceful thing, if extraterrestrial life was out there. So if we had proof of it, then one, it would increase our funding for space travel and exploration, and we'd be able to get that stuff going. But two, when you have a global outlook, and when you're, especially if there is the threat of intergalactic violence, and then it's so much easier to band the world together in that way. It's like when
if you get a big enough enemy, all the other stuff doesn't matter.
Like when America is in full on war, especially looking at something like World War II or something. When there's a full blown war on that with countries to countries there, and the countries are aligning together, people clamoring for states' rights and secession and all of that stuff doesn't really happen.
It kind of gets pushed over.
It pushed to the side because there's a bigger issue at stake. Yeah. And so I like the way they were showing that too. Of there's still animosity.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So because people are focusing more on like aliens and world peace, does this mean there's still only 2 genders in the world?
Not sure.
They didn't specifically address that.
No, they slightly.
That's what was missing.
They only slightly touched on homosexuality in the whole film too.
I guess I missed that one.
Well, the 2 characters that have, you could call it a bromance together, the 2 scientists.
Oh yeah.
Wait, were they gay?
They seemed like they were in a gay relationship.
Yeah.
Like the kind of thing where they weren't so overt with it, and I'm really hoping that they are, and they just weren't being like super stereotypical. Because it was just they were just being sweet.
I think it's just kind of buddy guy thing.
I know, but it
Buddy
went a
guy,
little
like
further.
Guy buddy friend.
The
Not
sweetness, the sweetness in it of the one guy always watering the flowers for him and just taking care of him, and the look on it on the other guy's face from the long-haired guys in the bed.
Yeah, Brent Spiner.
Yeah, it was just.
I was a little surprised they brought him back because I thought he was dead.
Yeah, I thought he was
thought
dead
he
too, but
It
they're
was like,
oh, coma. For 20 years.
coma. I was like, well, okay,
I guess we didn't see
that works.
confirmation of his death. He was just tossed aside.
And it
so
didn't die on screen. Doesn't count.
Exactly. Yeah. In sci-fi, that's the rules.
Yeah.
He exploded. He's in a coma.
He didn't explode. He's fine.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see Vivica A. Fox again.
Did not recognize her at all.
No, I haven't really seen her in much since then. But
Vivica A. Fox playing?
she was the woman of color who was the the mother.
She was the doctor.
The mother, the doctor who is the mother of the Will Smith's son,
love baby.
Because she was.
She
Will
goes
Smith's
from highly paid exotic dancer to doctor in 20 years.
It's been 20 years. I think that's possible.
That's progress,
especially with how many doctors had been wiped out in the last thing.
Yeah,
So,
that's a growing job market.
There was a huge demand for that.
Exotic doctors.
I also like that they kept touching upon the aftermath of the first attack, about the lives lost, how many people had families that were torn apart or destroyed because of it.
And they're still talking about them 20 years later, kind of like how we're still talking about 9/11
exactly.
15 years later.
Especially if it's someone that you lost in your family. That's going to happen, especially when they're coming on the 20th anniversary of the attack. It's going to come up. You're going to be talking about it. So I think they did all that pretty well on this.
I think that they just could have actually just changed all the characters, because I found it too coincidental that Will Smith's son, the president's daughter, all these people who had previously dealt with the aliens before.
Yeah. That's absolutely the coincidence in it, but part of it is
just
you've
call it
got
nepotism.
Yeah, it's the nepotism of it, and that's what they were saying when there was the other guy who was not related to one of the people from the ones who owned the orphans. He was saying how he didn't get the job. Yeah, Liam Hemsworth in this one. So
sorry, it slipped out.
Yeah, that's fine. But so his character, though, they talk about how he wanted to be the captain of that thing, but he didn't get it because, of course, you got the legacy, the son of the hero from the first battle. So he's obviously going to get the part of that. And then the daughter of a president is going to get a cushy position in the White House and also have the opportunities for this.
And she's also dating Liam Hemsworth.
So
she has to survive.
But not just about so the survival of these characters is coincidental, of course. But the positions that they're in the first place is the privilege that they're born into. White privilege.
Check your privilege.
Even with
I
the
wonder
black
if
guy
Tumblr exists in this universe.
The son of Will Smith still applies the same thing. Like he's in a privileged position in that one because he's the son of a war hero.
Hard to believe that privilege is still a problem 20 years in the future.
Here's the thing, though. It's once again, it's America saving the day, and it's like
and China technically.
But like. There's a whole shitload of things you need to pick up, like when the girl watches her uncle die and that's never touched on again, and then she's like, oh, who's my uncle? I don't know. And then why is America the only place that is able to fight them? I know that a lot of people get wiped out when the mothership arrives.
Yeah, no, but so they showed that the group in Africa that was hunting them down individually. So they have the good skills at it. The place where they landed, at least, covers that whole Atlantic Ocean and everything touching it. So that was affecting a lot of things. Now, what happened was the moon base had the orb, and they brought that back to Area 51. And so then the mothership went and attacked where the orb was. So it kind of fell upon America because they're the ones who brought it back to that location. Right. So if it had been a Chinese, the Chinese group had brought it back to their base, if they had a base to take it to, then it would have fallen to them too.
The orb wasn't activated. They didn't know the orb was.
No, not yet. So they didn't go to it yet. When they first landed, they were just in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
I know, but why was it primarily America's fight though in the beginning? Because I feel like everyone else had the technology. I know. China, you see it get wiped out, but still, you see the Middle East is very well, I want to say, militarily armed and equipped.
But it's about the amount that they put into the space and the people that you've got going in there. So yeah, it was heavily America and all of that, but that's, I mean, how we've got,
because it had to be Independence Day.
Yeah, well, no, look, it's for an American audience, so that's what they're doing. But you still have huge money that you make in the international sales on it, so it behooves them to have more of an international cast in the film because it's going to be shown internationally, especially China being a huge market. I think they should have had a bigger role for China in the film, just marketing wise.
I've given anyone a bigger role because it's just
But that's
America saves the world's ass again.
Yeah, and again, like you said, the movie's called Independence Day, and it is based on the 4th of July, Independence Day, and it's an American-based idea. Okay. So that's why you've got that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it should have been. They should have worked hard to make it more of a global thing. I think they did put a lot of that in there, but they could have put more. I do like that you got to see how the other countries are reacting to it and responding to it in this. So.
And when they attack the globe the orb at first.
Yeah, and they're attacking France and attacking Russia.
Here's another thing. So, the orb says that Earth is the most primitive place, right?
Not the most primitive. They just called it primitive.
Primitive. So, and other places have mastered space travel, as you can see. So, how does a primitive planet somehow master the ability to take out a mothership while these other highly developed places don't?
Because it was just blind luck.
Yeah, it was dumb luck, just coincidence.
Stupid-ass blind luck that somehow...
Because it takes the courage of the people who were willing to fly into the things, but it's mostly the virus that it was able to take down their shields. And the virus was only thought up because you got Jaws guy, what's his name?
Is it
Roy Scheider?
Julius, the dad, right?
Yeah, the dad.
Oh yeah, character's name is Julius.
Okay,
Jeff Goldblum's dad.
Yeah, Goldblum's dad.
He's in there too. Is that Judd Hirsch? I think.
Yeah, Judd Hirsch.
Okay, so you got him.
Yeah, that's him.
Randomly thinking. Old picture. There's a picture from 1967 of him.
Still looks the same.
Judd Hirsch said was talking something like you're gonna catch
a cold,
catch pneumonia or whatever.
He said you put on this jacket, you're gonna catch
a
cold.
It's like, suddenly Jeff Goldblum was like, ha ha.
Yeah.
Like, ha ha.
So it was that coincidental phrase that gets tossed aside that happened to be said to a programmer.
Jeff doesn't have those moments in this movie. That was really bummed they didn't have one of those like.
I think
bait.
Now that's the kind of thing where I think that this film surprised me in that they didn't just do the first film over again. Mm-hmm. And I was expecting.
Although when I was going through, I did hear like some dialogue that was copied word for word from the other movie.
Yeah.
Several references that you had taken directly from the first one. I think like I don't want to say like a whole scene or like a shot, but there was like something visually that was copied directly from the first movie too.
And that's stuff that you want to put in there to still make it in the same universe and connecting to it and giving the nostalgic moments to people watching the film.
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't get nostalgia out of it. I got like they were making a nod to it, but it didn't have any of that like a wink and a nod to it.
Exactly. I think they were trying for that.
It was just they tried to get a wink out of it, but it was just a copy.
Yeah. So it didn't really work for that. But what I'm saying is I think that what did work for it was that it was enough unique on its own. It was enough of its own storyline. That had the reminiscent things, and you still get the big destruction points, but the way that you get to see the Queen in this one and her role in it, and the way that you've got everyone still reeling from the effects from before, but also having the advanced technologies, things have changed enough.
I have a question about the Queen.
Yes.
So in the first movie, they upload the virus, it destroys the shield, and they're able to destroy the ship. It crashes and it dies.
Yes.
So in this one, what happens is Bill Pullman baits his way into the mothership and detonates the fission nukes, but the Queen survives because the Queen has the shield. And they say...
Oh, yeah. Prior to that, the Queen has her own little shuttlecraft that she flew in. Yeah, not the entire mothership, which is like 3,000 miles across. Yeah,
I know.
Yes,
but here's
so
my question. It's further. So they say the first ship crashed because there was the hive mind in there, aka the Queen. So when Randy Quaid destroyed that ship, why wasn't there a shield for that queen? Or
Maybe they didn't have it at the time.
but it's
Hey, they've had 20 years to advance their technologies too.
20 years to, but it'd be like,
And that's how they failed the last time.
Oh no! Oh, you're thinking of two different things. There's the mothership that was out in orbit.
Yeah.
And there's all the different landers. Randy Quaid flew into one of the landers.
Yeah, he didn't fly in. He wasn't
Yeah.
the one who destroyed the big mothership. That was Will
Yeah.
Smith and
Yeah.
Bill Pullman.
Yeah. Two separate things. The Randy Quaid had to figure out how to blow up the light cannon because that was the way to cause the chain reaction to blow, because they were just throwing their missiles at the landers and not causing any significant damage.
Yeah.
because I feel like they didn't even advance their technology at all. I feel it's just.
I do have a theory about that. So when the orb, who kind of looks suspiciously like the rope.
And the paranoid android.
No, not the paranoid android.
From the newer
The newer version of Hitchhikers.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. He said that when the Harvester Queen is killed, and the ships go into autopilot and they go meet some other Harvester Queen,
Yeah.
which leads me to think that there are multiple factions that each belong to an independently operating queen, just part of their civilization.
Independent queen corporations.
So I think that every queen is more or less operating independently of each other,
Yeah.
which explains why this one has a completely different design for their drone ships or fighter craft. Why the Harvester looks completely different, why the Lander craft, or no, there weren't any. Why these aliens are a lot bigger than the ones from the first Independence Day.
But
They're a
also,
lot
it
taller,
also sounds like each of the queens has the ability to take over drones from individual factions based on the way that the ones that they had in prisons were reacting to the presence of this queen if they weren't from the same clan.
I think they were probably part of the same hive.
Maybe. And
Because even if you just pretend that like one harvester ship is going to take over this, what's the term? A local group of or local galaxies, like a couple of galaxies in the area, then yeah, that makes sense.
And they're not really even like taking over on our planet, because the planet, they're just using it as a fueling station.
Yeah.
It's just the quick drill down,
they don't care about
get
the
all
rest
the
of us.
resources, and then move on. Yeah. We are nothing.
Which means that it takes an just absurdly high amount of energy to travel between planets and between galaxies, or between solar systems even. That if they have to start draining planets all the time.
And the only reason that they came to our planet in this one is because of the orb.
Yeah, in this case, yeah.
Because they were still tracking that orb even before it was on, before that thing. Because the way, and at that beautiful moment at the beginning where they see the thing coming in, they're like, this doesn't look like the ships from before. What should we do? We should probably shoot it.
Let's shoot it.
Shoot the thing. And I was screaming with the other people who were on the film of the people being like, wait and see.
Yeah.
Hold on, not every alien is going to be evil necessarily, but
well, because in the first movie they did wait and see.
Exactly.
And,
They
and
waited.
They got shot.
it was the Mars attacks moment.
Yeah. There you go.
Because you expect these. So that was the problem. They did the first thing the first time. So 100% of the aliens they've come into encounter with have been
tried to kill
hostile.
us.
So if you see an alien, just shoot it.
Just shoot it.
It was the obvious thing to do there.
Because in every single other alien
Starship
movie,
Troopers.
if the humans suddenly show up somewhere, they shoot us first.
Because that's what you're gonna do.
Because that's what you're supposed to do.
You're supposed to hand out blankets to them, you know.
Well, you don't have time to give out polio blankets.
Polio, it's smallpox.
Smallpox, yeah.
It's even worse.
Give
a
them
bunch of cripples.
I mean, why not make polio blankets? It would make about as much sense as a Unix virus.
Yeah.
scoliosis blankets.
Yes. So what I also like about this film is that, I mean, for better or worse, they leave it open for a sequel. They pave
They practically said there's going to be
yes.
a sequel.
Yeah.
and I am excited to see what that's going to be. This film had a little more of a Starship Troopers feel to it than the first one, and that's what the next film would be, is actually getting to see us going to their place.
Okay.
Because that's what they say at the end. They're like, if we build this technology, we can take the fight.
That's the
to
only
them.
other place they could take the movie.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen Earth get destroyed twice now.
Twice.
We don't need to see that again.
Yeah.
But if you get to show, I mean, we've gotten to see the insides of that big mothership.
Yeah.
So we get to see part of their civilization there. I would love to see their home world
I
and
bet
see what happens after that.
They're actually a really peaceful race, but we're going to like destroy all their landmarks.
Yes. I want to know what their landmarks are going to be. Also, interesting that they rebuilt the White House.
Yeah.
They also
they
rebuilt.
rebuilt
They
it.
built a bigger White House that was kind of a global capital. Now that the whole world was working together, and then across from that, they rebuilt the old classic White House just as like a landmark, historical significance.
So if we're gonna go to their home world or some world of theirs, does that
Mm-hmm.
make Independence 3 the same as Ender's Game?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like NBC, which is also kind of like Starship Troopers.
True. Yeah.
Like similar kind of thing there, but or it's the Futurama episode with the bouncing balls. Fine, you can have our homeworlds. What? Yeah, we're gonna be terrible in chasing them down.
Just tribbles.
So. I want to see the humanity of those aliens. I want to see them like with their families and stuff, and their point of view. Yeah. So then the next film is that attack, but maybe you just do the next film from their point of view, and then you
that'd
see
be
us.
funny.
District 9.
Yes. You do that, and then I want to see how they're
We have
responding.
to
to all
sympathize with aliens.
Yeah.
I'd rather, because I fucking hated the characters in this one.
The characters weren't great in this one. I didn't have a huge connection to them. I mean, I still like I got the little bits of connection to Jeff Goldblum and Bill Pullman, just because of the last film, and you know, anyone from the last film, I had a little bit of like, I like that character. I hope good stuff happens to them. But they also. They don't kill a lot of the main characters, but still with both of the films. Yeah, I wish they killed a little more, maybe, but
No risk.
yeah, but there's some. There's
very little risk involved.
I wish there was more, but a couple people do get killed. I mean, the president gets killed in this one. Like you could, there was still some deaths of importance.
If you like them, they're dead.
They need to. They should invite George R. R. Martin into writing the next one.
Oh,
Just be
geez.
like, kill them all off.
Yeah. I really barely felt any sympathy or connection for these characters. Was it just me, or this movie go really fast?
Yeah, there was
the pacing was
the first one
incredibly quick.
The first one had similar issues where you've got so many characters and you're telling the
like a
story from
Robert
so many
Altman
different
movie.
points of view that it's a lot to keep track of. But the first one did it kind of right with that one.
Yeah, I really didn't have any problems with pacing in the first one, but this one, the official runtime is exactly 2 hours,
which is shorter than the first movie.
Yeah, weirdly enough,
and which is odd for movies
but it's
to get
like
shorter than 20 years.
Like once you get past the first 10 minutes where Hemsworth saves the giant
How dare you save
ray
our
gun,
lives?
death gun on the moon, and it's like everything is just barreling forward the entire time.
Yeah,
it's like you hardly. It's like. Holy crap! I mean, the scene where Hiller's mom dies on the roof of the hospital.
Yeah,
it takes like 2 minutes.
Less.
The scene where Bill Pullman sacrifices himself to blow up the Queen's shuttlecraft takes like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yep.
You see 5 seconds of him flying in there. You see 10 seconds of him delivering the snappy one-liner to her. Then he blows himself up, and that's it.
I'll have what she's having.
Like no time at all to develop tension in anything.
Yeah. Although on the other hand, I give them credit for putting so much into this film and not splitting it onto part 1 and 2.
Yeah, okay.
but
I mean,
yeah, there was
Independence Day and the day after Independence Day.
Make it like 2 minutes, like 2 hours, 15 minutes. Or
I
something.
think I was getting reminiscent of Warcraft in watching this one. In just about you've got so many characters that you're dealing with and so many plot points you're getting through on the battle that it does get rushed in there. And especially most of the characters that you're following in this are new people, even though they're related to people we know, but there's a lot of new people that you're following plus all the old people that we're following, and they're spread apart over so many different places throughout the film. Finally come together at the end.
Yeah, like they're trying to throw in that subplot of Hemsworth,
He's a
what
dick
was
of a boyfriend.
the black kid's name?
Will Smith Jr.
Jaden Pinkett Smith.
No.
Yeah,
I'm so glad it wasn't Jaden
dear
Smith
God, yeah.
in there.
that would be too much. I would have walked out.
Directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, so it's a Hiller Jr. and then President's daughter. There's like that weird kind of subplot with the
Them
three of
hating
them,
each
I
other.
think.
Yeah, which they don't spend enough time on.
And it's the pointless rivalry. It's like in NASCAR, if you accidentally cause an accident, like if Dale Earnhardt Jr. held a grudge against the guy that was responsible for the father's accident, I'd understand that. But just if you barely like nudged him and caused,
the guy was almost nothing.
I mean, shoot! If we didn't see that little video of him watching the replay of that training flight, like we would have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
I mean, I got that there was something going on there, and then they showed the video. I don't think the video helped at all because it was barely anything.
You know what?
I think it would have been better off with it would have been just as good without it.
If Liam Hemsworth was responsible for the death of Will Smith, I would understand that. Like he was the one that accidentally caused some type of accident.
He's not. If he was he needed to have been responsible for the death of his mother, like not saving her, and that would have been a separate thing. And then the feud started.
Or that too.
Like he could have saved her and made this decision of like, no, I needed to save this person instead. And then
that would have been better motivation. Not like screwing him over in flight school.
Yeah,
but he still got on the legacy.
Or even they could have even been fighting over the president's daughter.
Or that.
Like that would have been something
even better motivation.
Something more than just nudging him on a training run.
They're on opposite space football teams.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was.
Or what's that one video game like Smash Ball or something?
I don't know.
Whatever it was.
Yeah, there's
like
almost...
the new combination of football and basketball is like Smash Ball or whatever.
Oh,
Blurtzball.
Yeah, Blurnsball or
Blitz
Rollerball from the movie Rollerball.
Rollerball.
Future sports.
But no, it's like all he really does. He screws Hiller Jr. out of a race or like a test flight.
And
a competitive flight.
Everyone to go silent and look at them. Like,
and apparently everybody else knows about this.
Yeah, I think that plot was underdeveloped and overblown.
Yeah.
I think like the biggest disappointment is that the alien's weakness wasn't water.
Look, because that's already done. I thought that was a reference to it in the first movie when he talks about virus and he's like, "I've got an idea." My first thought is, okay, War of the Worlds, it's going to be the just common everyday viruses that they aren't used to because you found out that they're organic.
We're going to shoot our germs at them.
Because they made the point earlier saying that these are organic life forms similar to us. So then it was a thought of, germs can destroy them. So that's where I thought that point was going. And then it went computer virus, and it was a different thing.
Yeah.
So I think that was a reference to War of the Worlds in that first movie. So you're not going to do that again. And it's been established like that. So.
Yeah, because the alien switched to Linux after that.
All right, so I gotta say, for Roland Emmerich movies, though,
10,000 BC.
at least this wasn't
C++.
At least this wasn't Godzilla.
True.
Like, he does some great stuff. I mean, White House Down was pretty fun. Another White House getting destroyed movie.
Yeah.
And the first Independence Day, Day After Tomorrow, big destruction movie. 2012, big destruction movie.
Yeah.
10,000 BC. I didn't see that one, but I'm assuming that all of the ancient landmarks get destroyed in that one.
Anonymous,
a lot of
destroyed
caves
Shakespeare.
get
Destroyed Shakespeare and Anonymous. So yeah, but and Stargate. Dude,
Stargate was awesome.
Yeah. So I think Roland Emmerich's your guy, except for Godzilla. I mean, Godzilla really to me is just the worst of the. He destroyed Godzilla on that one, I guess. No, that was.
Okay. Well, Godzilla lived.
I mean, they're barely
not,
that film.
Well, true.
Like,
I mean, they're not going to make a sequel to that.
Do you think Godzilla's in this universe as well?
Godzilla, if he is, he gets destroyed. I want to. There should be a scene where like Godzilla's in there and then just like laser cannon just vaporizes him. It's like,
It's they're drilling in a hole over the ocean.
If they're drilling to the core, I think some Godzilla monster would have gotten awoken at some point. So
True.
I like the guys. I like those guys on the boat.
Yeah, the boat guys who really contribute nothing.
They were random, contribute nothing, but the little joke of of the thing of like, yeah, I'll do it for $100 million.
Like, for $100 million. It's like,
you have a deal.
They said yes.
I like that.
They're
a good little comedy.
It's the harvester is drilling over the ocean. Yeah. They could say that they by sheer coincidence they drilled through the hole that Godzilla's been hibernating in. Like, oh god damn it!
Tie the films together.
They're like, well, that's the end of that.
I want to know what happens when you drill almost all the way to the core and then stop
At like the last mile.
Yeah, I want to see the water
Yeah.
I want to see what happens.
I think that would be a big problem.
Yeah. I would.
I'm no geologist.
You need to have a TV series dedicated to just rebuilding after a movie like this. I want to see miniseries. What happens?
It's like the new spin-off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Wouldn't that cause like a lot of water vapor in the sky? So like when they have an El Nino.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Everything's going to be screwed up. You just got to find a new planet. And you've already got intergalactic travel or interstellar.
They have solar system.
They have
travel.
interplanetary travel at least. Yeah. They've got a base on Saturn that's been destroyed now, but they have that ability. So yeah, there's hope. There's hope for stuff. I want to see the Saturn base. We didn't get to see Saturn base. Mm-hmm. It's a shame.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing on Saturn. Like,
all right,
you
want
to go elsewhere.
Star ratings on this thing. We're talking long enough on this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a solid 3 on this one. I liked it. I had fun with it, but like this is a fun popcorn summer movie. But not more than a 3. I'm not gonna be rewatching this one again.
Yeah.
Times I might rewatch it before the next movie comes out.
So. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3 also.
1.
Yeah, snob.
Yeah. I didn't give it half. I gave it 1 because it is some things I did like. There was some good comedy, like when the alien blood gets on the bus and they just wipe it off.
It's moments like that
small moments.
They make you smile.
But like,
he tries to punch the alien again and it doesn't work.
Yes, that was a good reference to the first movie.
Ow!
You're not Will Smith. You don't get to punch aliens.
Yeah.
I also like the technology of their.
Welcome to Earth.
I like their suits that they wear. The aliens like body armor. Suits.
Yeah, the new body suits.
I just like those, even from the first movie. I just like that concept.
They
look big, imposing things.
Yeah, thanks to using CGI at least, they were able to make the aliens a lot more imposing.
Not puppets.
Yeah.
In the first one, the flailing little puppet limbs.
it's like Ed Wood with the octopus.
The tentacles.
That was
I dig practical effects like that.
No, I love it. It looks cool with that, but it still also looks like a puppet.
Yeah,
so
they could only show like just a little bit of it at any one time.
It's about that mixing the two together.
Yeah.
The Jurassic Park thing.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this discussion. Hope maybe you enjoyed the movie, and if you didn't, hope you enjoyed our talking about it anyway. Thank you for watching or listening to this, and if you got anything you want to write to us at magicapetv@gmail.com.
I say look out for our upcoming review of 9 Lives, starring Academy Award winner Kevin Spacey.
I guess we're gonna do that one.
We
All
have
right, that'll be coming out soon.
We're bound by contract.
9 Lives. Oh, I'm sorry for that. All right,
Me too.
Bye.